FIFA 19 does a lot of what FIFA 18 does, except with a few new tweaks and small changes to the core gameplay, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth playing if you've played FIFA 18. They have made some small changes to the core gameplay, like off the ball movement, as well as things like the shot now being more of a time based thing rather than a power based thing, meaning it's all about catching the ball at the right time rather than putting as much power behind it, which became quite dull simply due to the fact that too much power always meant it was overhit. The time based system doesn't change that all a lot, but also it just makes the flow of gameplay feel a lot better. The AI has also been tweaked to get players off the ball to get into better positions and find space, and overall it just feels a little bit smoother. Now I don't know if it's as good to say as the feeling is better than PES, because I think that's the one place that PES sort of excels at is its gameplay essentially. FIFA here has gameplay and it's a ton of fun to play, but they also have the licenses, and they've built onto that license it probably their biggest change yet on year over year in the sense of getting the Champions League license, and they've done that and implemented it really well. You can sort of go through the Champions League tournament like you would any other tournament in the game, or you can simply go to the kickoff mode and play in a Champions League stage match or a knockout or even the Champions League final. So they really want to emphasize the fact that they have the license this year, and they should be quite proud of it because it looks pretty good. The atmosphere, like I think that's one of the things as well about the FIFA games, is the atmosphere is done so well. So you can just go and do that, but on top of that, in the kickoff mode they've added some game modes that really make local co-op a ton of fun to play. Beyond your simple kickoff mode, which is just an exhibition match, you now also have other things that change the rules a lot. Things like survival, where if you score, one random player from your team will be removed from play. You also have rules like heads and volleys, which you may be used to playing in the schoolyard, where you can only score with, well, a head or a volley. And they also have things like no rules mode, so you can just, batter people around. And it's just a ton of fun, especially for local co-op. I think they know that a lot of people like to get together and have a game of FIFA. This sort of just emphasizes and sort of builds on that and allows people to just play more, like more dynamicism to it. But everything else is pretty much the way you know it to be. The FIFA Ultimate Team mode adds a few more sort of ways to play, but for the most part it is very much the same mode you love and enjoy. There's the journey mode returns. It now allows you to play as 3 different people, which is Alex Hunter, her sister Kim, and our friend whose name eludes me right now. But the gameplay sort of, it gives you sort of, it's starting its 3rd season now. It's starting to sort of get a little, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as enjoyable as it used to be. It's sort of, it's fun that you get to have it from a few different people, but the choices that you make really don't seem to matter anymore. And I think that's the biggest down point. Is like, it's still fun to go out and have objectives and sort of have a story mode attached to a sports game, but I think the lack of sort of impact to your choices really just pulled it back a little bit. But still, that's not to say you just don't have anything to play. There's just so much to play with the FIFA games, and I think that's sort of one of the things that probably isn't talked enough about. There's so much sort of things to do within this game that really does last a whole year. Like, just from all the tournaments to your career, like you can play as a manager or a player. You can just play through as a team and go through the league, go through whatever domestic cup. There's just a ton here, but like the main things here are sort of the small changes to the gameplay, as well as the visuals and the atmosphere. I played a lot of the matches for review as Liverpool, and just the atmosphere of the crowd singing You'll Never Walk Alone, or singing the songs that you expect at Anfield, and it's just so enjoyable, that's replicated so well. And I think that's sort of the thing that FIFA has that no one else can come near, is just how authentic they make everything feel. There's no hokey celebrations that would never be done in the game. There's no like nothing feels out of the ordinary, where in its main competition PES it does. Sometimes it just is like, I don't know if this would actually be a thing that would happen. Um, but still, FIFA is just, it's still king, I think. I think the gameplay in PES is getting there, but I think honestly FIFA is still, it's still the king of, I think honestly, all sports games. I think beyond NBA 2K, beyond Madden, I think FIFA is still the sort of the best all-round package for any type of fan. But yeah, it's still just